Hey, does anyone care if we talk about sex?
Because why? Because it's a love month.
Okay, it's love month. It's Valentine's Day month, and we teased you out to the whole fandom, both
I love it.
the universe, the Grey's Station 19 universe. They went crazy. The fact that we said we're going to talk about sex with her,
We made them even crazier.
made them out of their minds.
Let's do it.
And this started from a it's not just out of nowhere.
No.
This started from a conversation. We saw Stefania. When was it?
In
Back
November, and we were in Chicago.
It was in November.
And we were just sitting around talking about sex.
Either. Yeah.
We were.
If you want to know what we do,
Yeah,
when
we were at
off
a
work,
convention.
we sit around and we talk about sex.
Well, we got to go to dinner together, and then we got to see each other at the convention.
Totally
and
natural
what happens
thing to
is
do.
when we haven't seen each other for a while, there's a download, right?
Yes,
There's like
blah.
what is going on? Who are you seeing? How are the kids?
Yes.
Da, 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 da.
Right.
And that's what happened. And we got on the subject of sex. We talked about sex. And so we're going to get into it. But first, I found it very interesting, and I wanted to start with this.
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z is not having, or they're having.
Who is Gen Z? Gen Z is between 13 and
28 years
Okay.
old. They're having less sex than previous generations. Many people tightened their social circles when the pandemic surged. In general, people coming of age in an era of dating apps say the notion of starting a relationship with someone they meet in person seems like a piece of nostalgia.
That's so sad.
That's really sad.
Funny sad, though.
And
Like a piece of nostalgia? Like a relic from the oldie days? Like
So
a wagon
relationships
wheel
are
will come
out?
with it? What are you talking about?
Out. That's it? No more relationships? People don't do that?
Because it's nostalgic? By the way, I've told this story before. I did talk to someone who's probably in the 28-year-old category, and they were like, oh my gosh, I would never talk to someone in real life. I would never say hi to someone I thought was cute at a bar. And I was like, what?
There's no meet cutes out in the world. They call it a meet cute, right? Like when you're out, a meet cute's when you meet someone in the real world.
IRL.
And you have that like sitcom like
Moment.
cute, like,
Yeah, you're like,
you had that like, hey,
you come here
hey.
often?
So the meet cute isn't happening.
I've never had that, by the way, in my life. Nobody's
never
ever
had a
come
meet
talk to
cute?
me at a bar. Never. But I also am weird. Like when I see
Wait,
somebody I
hang
like.
on. You've never sat at a bar and someone's like,
I don't
hit
think
on
you've
you.
sat at a bar if no one's ever come up
Never.
to you while you were sitting at a
Never.
bar.
What? Happened
So
to me.
you've sat at bars and no one's come.
No one has come. Never.
Alone?
Happened to me.
With friends.
With friends. Or alone. No, I've never gone alone. With friends. But like male, female.
But yeah, I mean,
both.
that doesn't
Never.
deter people coming
no.
up to you.
But this is one thing that I have to disclose about myself. Like if I like somebody, I'm like, where do I hide? Like I don't make eye contact. I don't provoke.
There's no like little nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I die.
Eye contact,
You'd rather die.
yeah, the eye contact is very, I was just talking about this, the eye contact is very important.
Right? You have to invite
As like
that.
the first step in the,
Yeah, but how much?
in that nostalgic idea
Right.
of meeting
How many
someone
seconds?
in real life. Yeah,
Right. When
She's
does it
looking
get
at me.
creepy? Like when is it okay? Like how many seconds?
Oh, I think
You guys,
I'm at the
hang
bar,
on.
I'm talking to my friend, I'm talking to my
Okay.
friend, and then I
Yeah.
see her and I'm like,
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Oh my God, I'm 9. See, I'm 9.
It could have been 2 seconds less.
But 5 seconds worked.
5 seconds.
She's red and sweating. That was my
Stefania's
goal.
sweating
Red and
because she
sweating.
doesn't know if she should call 911.
Guess what? What can I say? I've got moves.
Wow.
Wait, I'm going to try it too.
Okay, go.
Okay, ready? Okay, so we're
Talking to me
talking.
at the bar. Yeah, now
Yeah,
I like you.
yeah, but we're just, you're just
I'm my
talking.
friend.
La, 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 la.
La, la, la.
Oh my God, though, but I was in. I was ready to leave Matt. I was in, Stefania.
You're nicer to our guests than you are to me.
Well,
Well, I'm just
go.
saying, maybe the reason why these people are not having sex is they're not from my generation, where eye banging was the first step of foreplay. And foreplay is a very important part of sex.
That's a point.
And I think that what's happening is that there's so much digital
yes.
diddling.
Yes.
There's no real foreplay. There's no look. There's no brush by. There's no Grey's made an entire meal, and they got me every time when they'd have Meredith and Derek in the fucking elevator together, and their pinkies would touch, and you were like, oh!
Definitely.
Right? They don't have that anymore. So
Yeah.
yes, it starts with the eyes.
Yeah.
You get on in there,
Yeah.
and then you brush by, and then and then there's the foreplay, and I think foreplay is probably happening less, and So people are missing out on the banging, the real banging.
That's a good
They're not
point.
doing.
I
They're not
actually think
starting
that's
with the
true.
banging.
I think there is definitely true. I think there is multiple reasons. Today they feel less pressure to have a relationship. Like they're more focused on their career. They're more ambitious, so they just give less attention to having a relationship with boys or girls or like
or making a family, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you always hear what ends up happening, which is that they bump up against the thing that's harder to control, which is like the timeline of viability. Having babies if they want to,
You know what? I think that we used to think that like it had to be done in 20s, early 30s. It's not true.
It's not anymore.
No, but sometimes that's a privilege on some level because you might need medical intervention, and that's expensive.
Yeah.
So,
but I think the generation's willing to take the risk.
Yeah,
I think they know it, and they're
Yeah.
willing to be like, you know what? It's still not right now, and whatever happens will happen.
Yeah,
and they're not feeling that pressure just to get it done so that they can.
Yeah. It's very specific,
it's
though,
hard.
this generation
thing.
And they did go through COVID and everything else, but I don't know.
I have two nieces. They're like 20, 19, and 23. And I was talking to one of them, and she was like, I met somebody. And I was like, okay, and then what now? And she was like, well, I'm going to see them for a few weeks to see if I even like them as a person. And then I'll take it from there. And I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what? They didn't get eye banged.
I was like,
they missed the eye banging part.
Yeah,
Because otherwise that would have been
100%,
straight into
100%.
the...
But I was like, wow, this is so mature, so
No,
kind
this
of
is
grown
really-
up. And I was like, I am a disaster. I go into things like a freaking bomb, and then there's fires and ashes. And you're like, no, wait, a few weeks to see if I even like you as a person. Yeah.
I text my nieces who are Gen Z.
Yeah.
And I said, why do you think you guys are having less sex as a generation?
What's wrong with you?
And they were like, no one we know goes out.
Wow.
Stop.
Oh, that's no good.
They're like, we don't go out anymore.
Right. Phone.
And so I think it's the same. I think even just like socially, there's not, everyone's sort of content because they have social access on their phones, right? So they're feeling like they're being social. We would sit and be like, we haven't fucking talked to anybody. We got to go get out.
We would get bored. It's so important to get bored because then you come up with things to do and say and to get out of the boredom. And I feel like they don't get bored anymore.
Did you grow up feeling comfortable talking about sex?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like massive taboo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours too? You too?
Oh, God. I have said, I don't think I put all the letters that are in masturbation together to form masturbation until I was in my 30s. It just was not, there were so many reasons why I was just, no. Yeah.
Well, dance for me was my outlet for my sensuality because I felt like I was on stage. I was playing a character, so I could be very sensual. So I loved it because I could express a part of me that I wasn't really allowed to express at home, obviously, or like amongst people that I was.
And also respected for it.
Exactly.
And seen as doing something wonderful.
Exactly.
How do your family feel that you're on a show that talks about also your OB?
Yeah.
We're talking about sex toys and vagina, like all of it.
I don't think I've had a lot of conversations with them about it.
That tracks.
I feel like I have an older aunt that is very conservative. She was like, could you not have picked a different role? I was like, if you only knew how hard it was to get this one.
Yeah.
That's not multiple choice when you arrive in Los Angeles.
But I was like, that's funny. It's just so, it lets you know how little perspective they have. And I was like, bless you, we're all the product of our own upbringing. She was also brought up in a Catholic environment, very conservative. But I was like, liberation. It felt so good to just talk about all of that.
Yeah.
But for me, it was a late awakening as well. Like I got my first vibrator 5 years ago. And I was like, what was I doing before?
You got your first vibrator 5 years ago?
7 years ago,
7 years ago?
7 years ago. Oh.
Can we ask which one? Because we had a whole sex toy episode. Do you know what it's called? Yes.
I tried a few, and I feel like I've settled on the little...
What is it?
The
little curve. That's what we got
curve
gifted, right? The little curvy curve?
I don't remember the curvy curve.
The curvy curve is good.
Stefania, we've told the story in the pod. We have a really funny story about Jessica going and buying her very first vibrator because she was younger.
It wasn't my first, Camilla. It wasn't my first.
One of them, one of many. She was adding
many.
to the collection, and she pretended in the store that it was like a gift to somebody else. And like,
I had a gift wrap.
But when you went in to buy your first vibrator 7 years
online.
ago, Oh,
online.
online.
No, I couldn't. I ordered.
Did you
it.
order like a sampling?
I did, and then
little
I figured
poo-poo
out that I
platter
couldn't
or-
return them because
Yeah,
obviously you
obviously, yeah.
can.
No,
and so I
you're not-
ended
that
up
would
with
be
a
not
set
good for
of
anyone.
freaking vibrators.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I don't know, it's
Okay.
a lot, too many.
I love that. I love that you did that for yourself, though. Are you seeing someone now?
No,
You are single?
yeah,
Single mingle.
What?
Single
Yeah,
mingle.
DM us.
Oh my God.